Hello traders, and in particular Katy. Apologies for the mess on this chart, but this is about the fourth attempt at this. I've had internet problems, interruptions and all sorts, so I'm going to clear the chart down and start again. That one's pretty clean from memory, and then I'll drag and drop the trade onto the chart. Maybe I've got too many charts open, it's really slow. Are we on there? Yeah, that's the 3CR there. So that's the trade. Now first I should talk about the H1. Let's get rid of that and a few other bits as well, actually, the dashboard I'm talking about. And let's hope I don't get interrupted. So we'll get rid of the dashboard. We can get rid of the dragon. We might as well get rid of that as well. And the TMT daily. We can get rid of the pivots, although the pivot, it was testing the daily pivot as well. And hopefully that should be a bit cleaner. Right, H1. First thing to notice, vol bomb. Second thing to talk about, we spent all day testing that coming up to this level of sellers here. So you know, I was watching that and thinking, well, it's got to get above there, got to do that. If not, it's just likely to crash. As I said, I came back from the horses, and Gaz, thanks for doing your I've seen that as well in the time it's taken me to try and get this video sorted, so your response is excellent. And just a couple of little additional bits on my behalf. I think we're below, no, we weren't below the line chart on this time frame, but so remember, we've got this massive vol bomb thanks to Simon's notice. But I mean, you know, what are you looking at here really? It's just like no brainer, give me some pips to the downside. So that was a lot of the reason, actually, Katy and others. Then 30-minute, there's not a lot to talk about on the 30-minute really. 3CR down. We've got this, if we zoom in, got this weird looking hangman candle, I think it's called, or inverted hammer, whatever you want to call it. But whatever way you look at it, the sellers were in charge. 3CR, that was a weak pullback. You know, we weren't even going to even attempt to pull back. Of course, I didn't know that when I was entering, but as you pull down the time frames again, you know, the power, this thing happens so rarely. I place such a lot of my thought process on that. So when that closed down, that on the 30-minute was the critical point for me, which is part of why I left that little thing hanging. Intense intense H1, M30, M15, I put it on the tweet, M5, M1. Every time frame tells a story. You know, now we can go to the line chart and you can clearly see we have tested a line chart low with price there. We've closed below that, if I remember. No, we hadn't actually, so I apologise for that. But once we get to the 15, then the line chart really starts to come into its own. And we'll have to move that blue line again, no doubt. No, we're perfect. M15 low, look what's happened, it's closed below it, and then it's even come back and tested it. Beautiful. Again, flick between your line charts, flick between your candles and your line charts, flick between the time frames, make sure everything's looking good. Once again, we've even had the bust pullback, and we're pushing down again. This would have been red when I entered, and I like to use that as a trigger as well. But more importantly, the line chart had been closed below here. The other thing to mention, almost forgot that, the Asian session low had been smack, and we'd had this big push up, as you know, into sellers, monster momentum on H1, and then it closes below. Also, always a good sign. That's why I love that Asian session, Asian range on my charts. Another tick box. What else did we have going on? M15, M5. So the higher time, you don't have to check your line charts on M5 because the higher time frame takes precedence. But what I did see on here, and I like to see this, I've talked about it many times, this candle here had broken below all the highs to the left hand side. There's you know, I've talked about this, I've highlighted it many times. It must be something to do with the algos. There is no resistance below the price to act as support. We've closed below it prior to my entry again, so another plus point. You know, it's not a deal breaker because you've got the line chart low broken and closed below, you've got the Asian session closed through, but it is an additional, and you asked me why I traded into that support. As far as I'm concerned, all these things, tick, 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 the momentum, the time of day, what's happened during the day, all add to my decision along with the RSI. And as I say, I'll place an enormous amount of importance on the TMA. In fact, I need to double check I've got the right setting on that, because sometimes I've got all these different templates going on. No, it is right, 7. Default is 13, and it will be default is 13, and it will be wrong. So there you go. You've got a few extra reasons for taking that trade, in addition to what Gaz said, and fantastic analysis, Gaz, and thanks for jumping in there. I really do appreciate any help from you guys, Simon, Gaz, Gabby, anyone else that has a view on this, because we all see the same stuff. It's just sometimes I see a little bit more than others. So, you know, trend reversal as well, ascending trend line, descending trend line, pulse, little h, there it is there as well. So what can I say, you know, charts and price action. So Katy, if you know, I know it's difficult, I know there's a ton of stuff to learn, but you know, just a simple thing like that as well. Buyers have failed as buyers again. Sellers just gone through them like a knife through a bit of brie. So cheese, that is. So there you go. But the main thing actually I think would be the line chart, which I didn't talk about in the trade. The definitely Simon's volume bomb, and with the RSI, and the importance I place on the TMA, because remember, all of this would have been green. It would have been screaming green on 3 or 4 different time frames, and that would have been red. I do apologise. Everything would have been red, and that would have been saying sell, 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 sell. So all of these things add up. That's why that's on the chart. You know why that's on the chart, vol bomb. You know why the Asian range is on the chart. Close through that, thank you. And then all the other little additional things with 3CRs and so on and so forth. So remember, you know, even just that simple thing there, the green candle, a lower high on the red, that's a trend. High, low, lower, high, low, low. Okay, so have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching, and looking forward to grabbing a few cryptos over the weekend, hopefully. Have a good weekend, folks.